Hello to my students. Welcome aboard. So I am your host, Tracy, and I have the pleasure in which to mentor and coach you on your spiritual journey. And it is really exciting for me to be able to share what I have learnt and my knowledge and skills with you, with our divine guidance of our spiritual team and my angel Freya. Okay, so the first things I wanted to really express to you is how important it is to shield and protect yourself, your property, those that you love, and to learn how to do that safely and trust that you are being protected, okay, no matter where you go. So the first thing that I do is give gratitude. I believe that gratitude opens our hearts up and starts us on a very positive note every single morning. And so my first good morning to Father and my spiritual team is thank you for a lovely night's sleep, or thank you for the lessons and experiences I endured through that sleep, and I've journaled and made notes on, whatever the case may be. But it's all about validating what you're experiencing and recording it, okay? And really learning from everything that happens. Every little detail is so important. So that's the first thing I do. And I keep a gratitude journal. I keep a shadows journal. And with the shadows journal, anything that triggers me feeling lack or feeling negative energy, anxiety, stress, depression, anything like that, I start going back to my shadows journal and I start working through what triggered me and identifying and understanding how to transmute that into positive energy, not only for myself, but to be able to share with others. So that's part of my journey. I would encourage you to also do the same thing. Now, in today's session, what I really want to focus on is being able to shield and protect yourself, especially if you're dealing with crystals, if you're dealing with pendulums, if you're dealing with tarot cards. Okay, I'm going to give you demonstrations on what I do and how I do it and why I do it, okay? The other thing is, it's really important to have your own space, your own Zen space. No matter how small, how grand, or whatever it is. For me, I have my little altar table here. But this is my entire workspace, which is basically half of my, well, it's my entire dining room area. I've set up as my Zen space, okay? In which when I walk in here into this section, I feel vibrant. I feel energized. I feel excited that I'm at work. This is what I do. I love it. It makes me feel good. I know I'm helping others, and I'm also being true and authentic in my purpose here on planet Earth in this lifetime. So what I have is little trinkets. I have a collection of feathers that my spiritual team quite often, as you can see, put in my path. This one I found 2 days ago in my rock garden, so that was quite unique because I've never found one on my property before. But that was a sign and very much appreciated. I have an assortment of crystals, and I have I'll just show you with the camera. So I just have the stronger crystals that work well with me, which is your citrine, and that's an earthing one. These are all crystals that really help me to feel the energy of, and I keep them at my desk area. Now, for those that are on the twin flame journey, if you can ever find yourself a twin selenite like this, which is 2 in 1, that's magnified twin flame energy. So when I'm doing twin flame readings, I use this one to amplify along with my amethyst, which is also amplifying of intuition and guidance in that area. Now, what I do have is a little light, which I'll just show you. And the cord has, I don't know if you can see it it's all plugged in. Just point it that way a little bit. So it's just got the push button. You can change the color. You can turn it on and off. And what I do is I sit that in the middle of my desk with whatever crystal I'm drawn to for the day. So I usually go with my pyramid or my twin flame, depending on which readings I'm doing on the day. Okay, so I have a variety of crystals, and you probably do too. Do you know how to energize them and cleanse them? So that's really important. Same with your pendulum. So mine's a rose quartz, and they need recharging. So in order to recharge, you can use recharge plate. This plate can go out in the moonlight. It's actually, they say sun as well, but apparently the moon is a lot more powerful because it's intuition based, and the moon energy is strong. So a full moon is when you recharge your plate, and each full moon it's important that you recharge your stones and your plate. And then you just basically set all your stones on the plate to get charged every few days, especially if you're using them a lot, like your pendulum. If you're using that daily, which a lot of people do, you want to make sure it's charged and cleansed and energized. Okay, so that's that. Now, there's a lot of things that people use for basically awakening your spiritual team to calling in their attention toward you. So there's things that you can use. I will bring that down again and place it on the pedestal. Sorry if I'm making you all dizzy. It's got to work. All right. So you don't have a front on view, but what I do have is a little sound bowl, which apparently you can't pick up the sound. I've done it heaps of times, but apparently it doesn't sound on camera for some reason. Maybe it's my settings, I don't know. You can also have thimbles. I have my angel chimes here, and I actually have chimes behind my computer monitor hanging on my door frame that the wind blows in on. I have water. Water's really important. So I have my Buddha fountain here with the running water. I have, so that's your water element. I have plants, which is earth. I've got my sage and my incense and candles, which is your fire and your air. Okay, they're the main things that are really important to have, is all your elements. I'm just going to pause because I can hear my door banging, and I'll set my camera back up. Okay, so I'm back, but what I wanted to show you before I change the camera angle is the sage is burning and smoking really well, okay? I actually have a fan blowing it away from my smoke alarm, which is directly above me here, because I've tripped that many a time, so I don't like it going off and scaring my babies. What I usually do is cleanse my cards. So I will do a blessing and I will call in my spiritual team, especially Archangel Michael, to shield and protect my cards and provide me with only positive guidance towards what my client needs to know for their highest good. And so I will go through and cleanse my cards every single reading. I do my rituals before every single reading. It is so important that you shield and protect your home. I have had a demon come through in a reading. I have the recording of that demon speaking very clearly, 3 times in fact, in a reading that was done for a family member. It wasn't pleasant, and I actually had to go through banishing that demon, not only from myself, but from my family members as a result of it making itself known. It was speaking in a different language, so I haven't been able to translate that, and I don't have the software or computer software to um, sort of bring it up to a better clarity to get any further with it. And I have actually asked a private phenomena, what do they call them? Investigating group, and no one was high enough in their technology and software to help me with that, even though everyone could hear it. So, yeah, that's one of those things you don't want to happen. You don't want any negative energies to align and attach themselves to you. And even though I did all the rituals and shields of protection, everything like that, I deliberately drew this demon energy away from a family member because I knew it was there. I knew it had control, and I called it to come to me so that I could deal with it rather than my family member who is not equipped or strong enough to fight the way in which I know spiritual warfare. So that's why it's important to shield and protect yourself and your cards and your pendulum, whatever tools you're using. It's important to know that they are very high risks of opening a gateway. So all of my other cards that I have here, I do the same thing. I usually will get the sage or dragon's blood. So I do my blessings. Now, there's another one called Palo Santo. Palo Santo's really beautiful smell and a powerful, find the hole in, a powerful Palo Santo. So you can get dragon's blood, which is strong, and Palo Santo. With the Palo Santo, the way I do things is I actually will burn my candles first, and then I will dip the Palo Santo in the wax that's melted, and I would just let it dry a little bit, and then I would actually light it up because it's very thick wood and it takes a lot for it to burn, to actually ignite. As you can see. Okay, we finally have a flame. So it takes a long time for it to burn. Oh, there's another thing. There's these little drums. These drums are really good in calling in spiritual team. They quite like the vibration and the energy. So with your Palo Santo, this is really, it's a shame we don't have smell-o-vision because it's a really beautiful smell. And yeah, I just basically let that ignite because it takes so long for it to start to burn. And then you can bless with that as well. So if you have a look here, that's all it's really just taken on the tips. It's taken with wax. But it's really a woody smell. It's really beautiful. Love it. Love it. Palo Santo. Okay, the other things I use. Okay, so frankincense. Okay. Um, Sage. I got the sage and citrus. I tend to want to use white sage a lot more because it's yeah, the white sage is not as, and that's quite huge. You can see there it's probably three hands. So does it have the price? $25 for a huge one. You don't have to get them so big, but I find that that lasts me, and I use it all day, every day. But it lasts me about 6 weeks, and then the dragon's blood incense sticks, or you can get dragon's blood wood, which lasts longer, but I find them harder to actually just burn and let burn. Okay, the other ones that I have that are my favorites is the really large white stick incense sticks. And this is what I use if I'm wanting to do a cleanse throughout the whole house. And purely because the smudge stick smokes so much that it sets off my smoke alarms, whereas this doesn't. And I can reach the corners of my home with this and making sure I'm doing a proper cleansing. So that's basically it, in which I get started with the prayer and I do my meditation and connect to my spiritual team. Then I connect to my higher self, and then I start with my actual readings. Hope you enjoyed this little workshop session. Have a practice of things. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Bye for now.